Hello Gemini, welcome to June 2016. This is Gwendolyn and this is a video of the Tarotscope for Gemini for June 2016. I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled the cards here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. So it looks like Gemini, you're starting the month with Five of Swords in reverse. That means that there's some sort of conflict that has happened or that has gone on that you may be having some difficulty in either acknowledging or finding the benefit of it having happened. The Swords cards represent the mental element, and here in the picture it's depicting that the swords are being collected after the sun has set on whatever conflict has happened. This is a battleground and someone is collecting the swords from the battle. So this can often mean collecting experience, collecting new insights, new knowledge, new thoughts from the thing that has happened, the conflict has happened. In the reverse position, it says that you're either not seeing, you're not collecting the lesson from what has happened, or that you're denying that something has gone on, that there has been any sort of conflict. So I'm going to encourage you to take a look at that and see what lessons might be gathered or learned from any conflict that has gone on, because while that remains in reverse, it's keeping this in reverse too. And this is Ace of Rods, which is a new beginning, a new spring. Aces are always new beginnings, and rods mean motivation, fire, optimism, vitality. It's got the archetype of someone who is running a race and holding the baton. It's the active element. Or it's also got the same archetype as someone who is out front in a parade, the baton twirler. It means just stepping out into the new, leading the charge. Renewal is actually a good word for this card, and here for June it's a perfect card for this spring into summer kind of energy. We actually will be entering summer this month. So what I'm going to say, Gemini, is that if you're blocking, if you're not seeing, if your view of the lessons to be learned from this battle is in suppression, or if there's any doubt or fear, or you're not seeing the benefit of what has happened, then that's going to keep your renewal, it's going to keep you from moving on. If you're not sort of acknowledging that the sun has set on something, it's blocking the new, fresh energy of the new cycle that the universe wants to hand to you. Once you are able to look at that, a new energy comes open for you, which is Fool energy, which is also about fresh new starts. This is new adventure. This is faith in the universe. Fool is playful. He doesn't have a care in the world. He's carefree. So, Fool really works with this Ace of Rods energy. You're just going to have to see if you can eliminate any fears or doubts that you have about acknowledging anything that is in conflict or a battle that's gone on. And then it will open you up to have new energy, all possibilities are there when the Fool is there. That's that 0 number. It means nothing is formed. It's kind of like got the fresh new energy of going out on an adventure, feeling free, feeling open, feeling supported by the universe, feeling like the world is a place for adventure and passion and new things. So I'm going to encourage you. This is new energy up here. This is letting something complete. And because these are in reverse, it shows that you may have some resistance or fear towards those. But Fool is in the upright position, so it says you will get to a place of have faith and have trust in the world, taking its normal cycle. That's what Fool is about. You also have 7 of Wands in the reverse position. This is a card of standing your ground. It's a card, sometimes it's literally translated as struggle, and I usually call this card success despite adversity. The reason I say that is because he is in a struggle position. He is having to defend his beliefs, to stand up for what he thinks, and to be assertive, but he's in an advantageous position. He is at the top of the mountain and everyone else is below him. Whether these are people who are fighting against him and he's having to ward them off, or whether there are people who are surrounding him and following him as he leads the charge. Either way, he's in the advantageous position. In the reverse, position of the card, it's telling me that you may have a hard time seeing how you are in an advantageous position. Either that, or that it's saying that you're not standing up for what you believe in or being assertive enough, that you're not seeing that that's available to you. This Seven of Wands energy is there. It's just a question of, are you tapping into it? Are you allowing it or not? In the reverse position, it makes me question whether you're seeing your advantageous position or whether you're standing up for yourself or allowing that that assertiveness to come through. So, and I'm going to encourage you to do that. Maybe look up Seven of Clubs and see if you can meditate on that card or look into what it means, because that is showing up for you, Gemini, at the beginning of June. Towards the middle of June, again, anything to do with denying a conflict is going to keep you checked out and in victim mentality. This card, it's echoing what's happening here. Two of Swords is a card about a decision and avoiding a decision. It's a stalemate. You can see swords represent, again, the ideas, thoughts, beliefs. And in this card, the figure is holding up two swords and not willing to choose between either one of them, and therefore is blindfolded and checked out. Through not addressing a dilemma or not making a decision, you know, it's basically avoidance of making a decision, and consequently this card is often called dilemma. So what it's telling me also in the reverse position is that there is some conflict avoidance. There is some way that you're just preferring to check out and not look at what's happening instead of making a decision or taking action about it. The way out of this card is to take action, to make a decision. It's also showing up right next to this card, Eight of Swords, which, as you can see, both of these figures are blindfolded. Both of them are checking out, and all it's creating for either one of them is stagnancy. It's being stuck. And also feeling victimized. This card is victim mentality. This is Eight of Swords, and she's surrounded by these swords which represent her thoughts and beliefs, and that is what's keeping her stuck. She could actually walk right through these swords, and she's in a place of power and freedom actually, but she doesn't believe it, and that's what's causing her blindfold. It's the thoughts that are keeping her oppressed. So I'm going to say that, Gemini, for the beginning of June and all the way through the middle of June, avoiding conflict, avoiding thoughts, having thoughts about just not making a decision, not confronting things, is going to put you in a victim mentality, powerless mode. It's giving your power away. It's not acknowledging the truth, and it's going to make you stuck. So see if you can work through that. I see that you do actually work through that through right around the middle of the month. This is King of Swords, which represents you, Gemini, since it is the air element, as represented by swords here. And this is having mastery over the mind. It's aligning with the truth. King of Swords means having the knowledge, the expertise, standing in alignment with the truth, having mastery over your mind. So this is you, Gemini, whether you're male or female. This is representing you having gone through this evolution of avoiding making a decision, having beliefs that make you powerless, and then eventually you do come into alignment with the truth, and you stand up for it. You say, this is what's true, this is what's real. You're actually having a standoff potentially with an earth sign. So this could actually, it can be Aquarius or Libra, but I'm seeing it more as you, Gemini. But there's a standoff happening with it, potentially a younger person who's an earth sign. And I say potentially younger because knights are usually younger than kings. But this could be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, and that both of you are seeing things in opposite ways. You can see they're looking in opposite directions here, but both of you have a certain amount of knowledge. That's this flowering oak leaf here, that you are actually telling the truth from your point of view. You just have absolutely different points of view. You're looking in different directions, and so there's a standoff happening. Earth signs represent values, possessions, assets, things that we treasure and believe in. And swords represent truth, analysis, beliefs, the mind, logic, clarity. So you both, what you need to do to come to an understanding, if you're finding yourself in this sort of standoff or misunderstanding between an air sign and an earth sign, is that you can, this person needs more air, and this person needs more groundedness in order for them to come together. So if you can do some grounding meditations or connect yourself to becoming more grounded, Gemini, that will help you with understanding this person or understanding where they're coming from. And if this person can see things from a rational, logical standpoint, if you can do some explaining to them of where you're coming from in a rational, logical, clear way, that can help bridge the gap between the two of you. And actually where air and earth meet is at the horizon. So if you can look like further off into the horizon, instead of just being steadfast where you are and having the standoff, see where you can meet, see where the two, look out at that horizon line and see where air and earth meet, and that might help with resolving any conflict between these two. And then towards the end of the month, Gemini, I see you have some Wands energy and then some really strong, powerful cards here. You have 8 of Wands in reverse. And 8 of Wands in the upright position means swiftness. It means things happening quickly, coming to completion. It means things are 80 to 90% lined up. So things are happening quickly. This also means news and information, like the last puzzle piece that is needed to unlock something. However, in the reverse position, it means that things are happening quickly, but they may not be happening quickly enough for you. There's some sort of like delay, or this is kind of like in the reverse position, it's kind of like watching a pot boil. It's like sweating it. It's making it so that you can't wait for it to happen. It's happening, but this is sort of like saying you need to employ a little bit more patience. You, Gemini, have very swift minds, and you are ruled by Quicksilver and Mercury, and you can jump from one idea to the next very quickly and rapidly. This is saying that it's not happening fast enough for you. So it's saying maybe you need to be a little bit more patient. You need to just let things happen because they are happening. And then this card, Jack, and it might be in specific relation to this Jack of Wands character. This could be one of your children. Knight or Jack is, again, usually a younger person. And Wands represent the fire element. So this could be a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries. And they're kind of giving you some trouble. They're in the reverse position. This person, Jacks are always balancing energies. So they can be very courageous, very daring, but they can also be very cocky. And in their daringness, they can also be a little bit foolhardy. So on one side, they've got a lot of fiery energy. They're confident, they're daring, they're brave. But on the low side, that can also show up as cockiness, as foolhardiness, like leaping before you look. Sometimes they can be overly courageous to the point of where it becomes foolish. So if you've got a fiery young person that you're working with, try to employ some patience towards them, because that's what's needed to get through that interaction with that sort of young, fiery, passionate person that's showing up for you. And then towards the end of the month, you've got 2 very powerful cards showing up. You've got Strength and you've got Magician. So Strength is a card that is all about, it's not about force or control, oddly enough. That's more like what Chariot's about. Strength is a card about connecting with your own inner strength, your fortitude, your endurance, and gentleness. She actually is able to open the jaws of this fierce creature, this lion, through patience, gentleness, and, coaxing them open, not forcing those jaws open. And then Magician here is also another powerful card. He's able to create whatever he wants. He's able to bring all the different elements that we see here on the table. The coin, which represents the physical world. The cup, which represents the emotional world. The staff, which represents the vital element, life, optimism, passion, energy. And then the sword, which represents the mental element, thoughts, beliefs. So he synthesizes all of those and brings down from the universe into reality, into the mundane world here, whatever he chooses to create through the focus of his mind. And in the Rider-Waite, Strength actually has the same figure 8 above her head. So there's a way in which you're connecting with divine energy towards the end of the month. Through connecting with your own strength, your own fortitude, your own endurance, your own gentleness. And then this card is all about personal power, seeing what's possible, taking action, creating something through the force, will, and power of your own mind, Gemini. So I see a lot of nice result for you towards the end of June. I see you coming into mastery of your own mind, even if there's a standoff happening with you and either a younger person or an earth sign. But you're going to need to confront the truth. You're going to need to confront any conflict that has been going on and make a decision about it, because if you don't, if you just check out, it puts you in a very powerless position. So that's my reading for you, Gemini, for June. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it. And as always, you're welcome to subscribe. And also, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Yours in the stars.